You know, we've done a lot of work with Alan November, and one of the concepts that he has shared with our teachers and our students has been the idea of creating a legacy of doing work that lasts, that can be built upon by the following generations. What experience do you have in that arena, and what are your thoughts about kids leaving a legacy?
Mm-hmm. So let's go back, because I always go back to come forward, all right? Because I've usually got 500 reluctant teachers, and I don't want to scare them, so I'm going to go back to what legacy was. Okay, so if I'm a historian and talking about the Civil War, I'm patching together scraps of letters, you know, to try to get them together, and it's hard work. It's hard work. Famous people had biographers, so it's not so hard for them. But the workaday people really didn't have a biographer, and they didn't have Facebook, so it's kind of hard to put it all back together. So legacy in those days was analog and photography. Now think about, have you ever gone to an antique store and found a whole pile of daguerreotypes or tintypes with no identifying marks on them? I call these people ghosts, right? They persist, but yet no one knows who they are. They're lost. They're digital orphans in the world. How sad. But their faces remain. Now think about, they looked in the camera in this moment in time and sent that image all the way to now. To me, that's amazing. You know what I mean? So what do we have here? We have these devices that I can talk to. I can hit record and talk to the future with perfect fidelity. You don't just hear what I said, you hear how I said it. You know what I mean? You get a sense of great-great-grandpa. I think that's a beautiful, amazing thing. I don't think we're even talking to kids about this. The idea that everything you create is part of your digital legacy forever. So do no evil, do no harm to your own life. Don't pee in your pool before you get in it. I think it starts when they're little. What are you building that you're proud of? Do you have anything online right now you'd be embarrassed if your mom saw? If you do, clean it up, because the world can see it. I mean, there's some basic sort of rules of the road that I don't think we're talking about, but we should. How do I look into this and get a job, get a scholarship? We know how to lose one. We do that just fine, even adults, right? Adults do stupid things. Do you think an 8th grader is not going to do a stupid thing? So we got to get out in front, I think. It's already too late, but let's try to get out in front and talk about how do we do amazing things that get you a scholarship, because the world can watch. And I think kids have to start looking at their name as their brand, their online everything, username, email as their brand, and look at themselves the way the world will look at them. They're going to judge them very harshly, and you and I, well, we got to pass on that because the world changed after we got a big part of our life done. But our kids are going to be judged very hard. Now, they're going to be judged if they do stupid things. They're also going to be judged hard if they did nothing, nothing that I can find. If I Google you and you don't exist, I think different. He doesn't have a web footprint at all. You know what I mean? Every great thing you did, if I can't find it, it didn't happen. In a way, that's going to happen, you know, to kids. So we kind of expect them to have this footprint of some kind. But how do we help them not step in anything? And I think teachers have to understand this. If teachers are on Twitter and teachers are on social networks, then they've learned a few rules, and they can be good role models for those kids. Or they can give them rules and not even do the thing they're talking about. Has anyone ever given you advice and you knew they didn't even do the thing? How much did you listen? She doesn't even do it, right? Why would I listen? So I think, one, we got to pull ourselves into these new places. Learn by example and help kids make good choices. I want to share this with you. I have a group of ladies I meet with a couple times a year called the Digital Grannies. These are grandmas who called me and said, we want to learn Facebook and Twitter. I said, why? We want to mentor our grandkids without embarrassing them. This is the coolest thing. They don't get staff development points. They just want to be good mentors for their grandkids. And so on behalf of those kids, they're learning things that aren't easy. And in the meantime, they're finding out this is actually kind of interesting, kind of human, kind of a great opportunity to become a new kind of mentor for kids. If we don't do this, then kids are playing on digital playgrounds with no one on recess duty. And we can't blame them if they fall off the slide.